Which one, please? You're making me shy. we get ready to welcome the heads of state of Côte d'Ivoire and the Islamic Republic of Mauritania as they step into the room. You may be seated. All right, photographers, thank you for taking over. You can now disperse. His Excellency, Mr. Alassane Ouattara, President of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire, His Excellency, Mr. Mohamed Ould Sheikh El Ghazouani, President of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, Honorable Mr. Ludovic Ngasse, Minister of Economy, Planning, and Regional Integration of the Republic of Congo and Chairperson of the Boards of Governors of the African Development Bank Group, presiding over this ceremony. His Excellency Mr. Bergwe Mambe, Prime Minister of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire, Ms. Niale Kaba, Minister of Economy, Planning, and Development of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire, and former Chairperson of the Boards of Governors. Mr. Sidi Ahmed Bou, Minister of Economy and Finance and Governor of the African Development Bank for Mauritania. Dr. Akinwumi A. Adesina, outgoing President of the African Development Bank Group. Dr. Donald Kaberuka, former President of the African Development Bank Group. Executive Directors executive directors of the African Development Bank Group, the owners of this event. Dr. Sidi, Ould, President-elect of the African Development Bank Group. Thank you. Mr. Amadou Hott, Dr. Samuel Munzele Mayambo, and Ms. Bajabulile Swazi Shabalala, former candidates with the President-elect for the presidency of the African Development Bank Group. Special guests of the President-elect here present. Your Excellencies, ambassadors, and members of the diplomatic corps, heads of international organizations and regional economic communities, senior management and members of staff of the African Development Bank Group, former members of senior management and retirees of the African Development Bank Group, Mr. Foster Ofosu, chairperson of the Staff Council of the African Development Bank Group, honorable dignitaries, media houses here present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We are gathered here today at this momentous occasion to witness yet another milestone, albeit a solemn one, the swearing-in ceremony of the President-elect of the African Development Bank Group, Dr. Sidi Ould. The first statutory event in the life of any administration of the bank is the swearing-in ceremony. And here we are. You will recall that the elections of the new president of the bank took place on the 29th of May, 2025, during the annual meetings of the bank group, which were held here in this very same room and graciously hosted by the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire. It is therefore my singular honor to welcome you to this esteemed occasion in its solemnity in this beautiful city of Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Vincent Mehele, Secretary General of the African Development Bank Group, and I will be facilitating this ceremony. Please allow me to take this opportunity to convey the bank's profound gratitude and that of the President-elect to all of you for gracing this ceremony. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, without further delay, allow me to present the program of the swearing-in ceremony. Following these introductory remarks is the statement by Mr. Ludovic Ngase, Minister of Economy, Planning, and Regional Integration of the Republic of Congo, and Chairperson of the Boards of Governors of the African Development Bank Group. Then there will be the reading of the resolution on the election of the President and the biography of the President-elect. Following that, there will be the taking of oath of office by the President-elect, administered by the Chairperson of the Boards of Governors of the bank. And then there will be the signing of the oath of office by the President-elect and the certification of same. That will be followed by the reading and signing of the record of the oath of office by the Chairperson of the Boards of Governors and certification of the same. And that will be followed by the inaugural address by Dr. Sidi Ould, who will then be President of the African Development Bank Group. Then there will be congratulatory addresses by their Excellencies, Mr. Mohammed Ould El Ghazouani, President of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, and by His Excellency, Mr. Alassane Ouattara, President of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire. Following that, there will be the family photo of the new president with Their Excellencies, the Heads of State of Cote d'Ivoire and Mauritania, Chairperson of the Board of Governors, and other dignitaries, and that will be clearly articulated because each and every person participating in the photograph is already informed. And that will end the ceremony. Following the end of the ceremony, there will be a cocktail offered by the president of the bank group at the reception of the main area of the hotel at the other side. It is now my honor, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, to invite Mr. Ludovic Ngase, Minister of Economy, Planning and Regional Integration of the Republic of Congo and Chairperson of the Boards of Governors of the African Development Bank Group, to deliver his opening remarks.
Excellence.
Your Excellency, Mr. Alassane Ouattara, President of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire, Your Excellency, Mr. Mohamed Ould Ghazouani, President of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, Mr. Robert Begré Mambe, Prime Minister of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire, Mr. Adama Bitogo, President of the National Assembly of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire, Ms. Kondia Kamara, President of the Senate of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire, members of government of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire, distinguished governors of the group, African Development Bank Group, the heads of regional economic communities and heads of financial institutions, heads of the diplomatic missions, heads of international organizations and development partners, the executive directors of the African Development Bank Group, Mr. Akiwumi Adesina, outgoing president of the African Development Bank, Mr. Sidi the president-elect of the African Development Bank Group, members of senior management and members of staff of the African Development Bank Group, representatives of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, today is a historical and special day. It is special because for me, it is indeed a singular honor to stand before you here today in the presence of their excellencies and all these personalities who've come from all corners of the world to offer a few words on the occasion of the swearing in of the 9th president of the African Development Bank following his election at the last general annual meetings of the African Development Bank that took place right here in this room from the 26th to the 30th of May 2025. Allow me, on behalf of His Excellency Denis Sassou Nguesso, President of the Republic of Congo, the government of the Republic of Congo and the people of Congo, to heartily extend our congratulations to the President, our gratitude to President Alassane Ouattara and to the people of Cote d'Ivoire for the warm welcome to our delegation. In the long history of our relations with the bank, I would like to thank heartily the outgoing president, Dr. Akiwumi Adesina, of the bank for his energy and leadership in supporting Africa's development over the last 10 years. His high five strategies has undoubtedly ensured that the continent make great strides in its development effort in fighting poverty and reducing the disparities. We wish him the best and Godspeed. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this is an historic event. As we swear in, it marks the beginning of the tenure of Dr. Sidi Ould as the ninth president of the African Development Bank, and it is the first time that a national of Mauritania will exercise these lofty duties at the helm of the continent. Allow me, on behalf of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Congo, to extend our hearty congratulations and our support to President-elect, to the President of Mauritania, His Excellency Mohamed Ould Ghazouani, and to all the people of Mauritania. Dr. Sidi Ould, you are starting your tenure, your term, in a setting where Africa has to navigate manifold challenges and uncertainties pertaining to the global geopolitical situation marked by persistent conflict in Europe, in the Middle East, in Africa, where many countries are grappling with security challenges relating specifically to terrorism. You have the trade war marked by the increase in customs and non-custom tariffs, and that is affecting trade and also leading to the increased prices. And your task is to fight poverty and to prepare the people to navigate these socio-economic challenges. The climate change effects marked by extreme weather patterns and marked by drought. It affects our food security. The energy crisis must be tackled so as to meet our energy needs and also to set the path, the continent on the path of industrialization and the processing of our commodities, and also to reduce official development assistance, which are major concerns and play a critical role in the macroeconomic stability of our countries. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President of the African Development Bank Group, if you have been elected to the helm of this prestigious organization, it is because you deserved it, and that all the governors here were persuaded that your program, titled The Four Cardinal Points, were best to provide concrete responses to the uncertainties of our time as well as the challenges facing our continent. So you are certainly the man of the situation, the man in whom we have placed our full trust and on whose shoulders the hope of the entire continent rests, to make the most of its potential for development purposes. We believe in you and standing with you for the success of this critical mandate. Dr. Sidi Ould, as your term begins today, it's a historic moment for the African Development Bank and Africa. Allow me, in my capacity as the chairperson of the Board of Governors of the African Development Bank, which is also our first time for my country and yet unprecedented for our bank, to reassert to you and to all staff members of the bank of the support of all the shareholders, and assure you of our constant support of the boards of governors and directors to provide the oversight, the guidance, and the support you would need to deliver in your work. Let me avail myself of this opportunity as well to wish you all the best in this lofty task in the service of our continent. May God guide you every day. Thank you for your kind attention.
May I request that you put your hands once more again for the chairperson of the Board of Governors. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the resolution on the election of the President was adopted at the fourth sitting of the 60th annual meeting of the African Development Bank on May 29, 2025. I will therefore read the resolution. Election of the President of the African Development Bank. The Board of Governors, having regard to 1, the agreement establishing the African Development Bank, the bank, in particular Articles 1, which deals with purpose, 4, structure, 29, Board of Governors, powers, 31, Board of Governors procedure, 35, voting, 36, the President, an appointment, 37, the office of the President, 2, the rules of procedure of the Board of Governors of the bank, and 3, the rules of procedure governing the election of the President of the bank as amended. Recalling Article 2 of the Rules of Procedure for the election of the President, which designates the Steering Committee as the subsidiary body of the Board of Governors responsible for the general administration of the electoral process to the office of President. Recalling Resolution B/BG/2024/08, adopted by this Board on the 29th of May 2024, concerning the timetable and procedure for the election of the President of the bank. Having considered the report, 1, the report of the meeting of the Steering Committee of the Board of Governors for the election of the President of the bank, held on 12 February 2025, contained in document AdB/BG/CD/AG 2025/01. 2, the report of the meeting of the Steering Committee of the Board of Governors for the election of the President of the bank, held on the 23rd of April 2025, contained in document AdB/BG/CD/AG 2025/02. 3, the report of the meeting of the Steering Committee of the Board of Governors for the election of the President of the bank, held on 26th of May 2025, contained in document AdB/BG/CD/AG 2025/03. And finally, the report of the result on the election of the President, contained in the official records of the 2025 annual meetings, hereby resolves to declare Dr. Sidi Ould elected as the 9th President of the African Development Bank for a term of 5 years with effect from 1st September 2025. Put your hands together, please. That is the resolution that gives impetus to what you are doing today. And to transition from that, we'll present to you Dr. Sidi Ould, President-elect of the African Development Bank Group. Dr. Sidi Ould was elected the 9th President of the African Development Bank Group on 29th of May 2025 with a historic mandate from shareholders, securing more than 76% of the vote, the highest first-term margin in the bank's history. His election reflects strong shareholder confidence in his proven ability to deliver bold reforms and measurable impact for Africa's development based on his 40 years plus career in various areas, including banking, as an economist, and ministerial roles in Africa and the Global South. Prior to this election, Dr. Ould served as president of the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, BADEA, for a decade spanning 2015 to 2025. During this period, he led a broad transformation of the institution, repositioning it from an unrated regional player to one of Africa's highest-rated multilateral development banks. Under his leadership, BADEA achieved prestigious AAA/AA1/AA+ credit ratings, placing it among the most trusted institutions on the continent. The bank's total assets nearly doubled, even as it maintained exceptional asset quality and slashed its non-performing loan ratio from 11% to just 0.4%, one of the lowest among African development finance institutions. One of Dr. Tah's hallmark achievements at BADEA was launching the institution's successful entry into international capital markets through 2 successive public bonds issuances. He also introduced BADEA's first 10-year strategic framework known as BADEA 2030 and established a visionary 50-year development roadmap, BADEA 2074. His forward-thinking leadership, digital transformation of the bank's operations, and positioning sustainability at the heart of the bank's financing model earned multiple international certifications for excellence in environmental, social, and governance practices. Throughout his career, Dr. Tah also demonstrated exceptional crisis leadership. When political instability and conflict erupted in Sudan between 2019 and 2023, at the same time of the COVID-19 pandemic crisis, he oversaw the expedited relocation of BADEA's headquarters from Khartoum to Riyadh. Despite the dual shocks, the bank seamlessly maintained full operational continuity, safeguarding all staff and their families, and remarkably achieved a 357% increase in annual disbursements during this challenging period. His calm yet decisive leadership during this crisis further cemented his reputation as a capable and trusted development finance executive. Before joining BADEA, Dr. Tah served as Minister for Mauritania of Economy and Finance and Minister of Economic Affairs and Development from 2008 to 2015. In this role, he helped shape national development plans that attracted significant external investment and drove major economic reforms. He also served as Mauritania governor on the boards of several international financial institutions, including the African Development Bank, the World Bank, the Islamic Development Bank, and over 10 Arab regional development institutions. He also actively served as board member of a leading African development finance institution, such as Afrexim Bank and the Trade and Development Bank. Dr. Tah holds a PhD in economics from the University of Nice, Sofia, Antipolis in France and a master's in economics from the University of Nouakchott in Mauritania. He also completed executive education programs at the Harvard Institute for International Development, the Swiss Finance Institute, and the London Business School. Fluent in Arabic, French, and English, with working knowledge of Portuguese and Spanish, Dr. Ter has leveraged his linguistic fluency and diplomatic agility to deepen South-South cooperation and forge high-level partnerships across Africa, the Gulf, and Europe. His contributions to development have been widely recognized with numerous national honors, including being named a Knight of the National Order of Merit in Mauritania and receiving the Grand Officer distinctions from Burkina Faso, Niger, Senegal, and several other African nations. Dr. Sidi Oult's career spans the full spectrum of Africa's development finance landscape, both as a policymaker, managing public resources, and as financier crafting continental investment solutions. His long-standing engagement with global donors, rating agencies, and development partners has further positioned him as a trusted interlocutor at the highest levels of international finance. His leadership at the helm of the African Development Bank Group marks a new era for the institution, anchored in its strategic vision, operational excellence, and unwavering commitment to Africa's transformation. Please put your hands together for Dr. Ter. Before assuming office, the rules provide that the president-elect should take an oath of office in the presence of the board of directors. I wish to convey that the board of directors is here present and has quorum. It is my pleasure, therefore, having established that the board of directors are here present and there's quorum, invite the chairperson of the board of governors to come forward to administer the oath of office to the president-elect. Mr. President doesn't want to move until he's invited.
I, Sidi Ould, President of the African Development Bank, solemnly declare and undertake before the chairperson of the Board of Governors and before the members of the Board of Directors that I will abide by the provisions of the agreement establishing the African Development Bank, its bylaws and regulations, and that I will discharge my duties and functions as laid down in those laws and regulations with loyalty, discretion, and conscience, and will regulate my conduct as president with the interests of the bank only in view, in accordance with the provisions of Articles 37 and 38 of the agreement establishing the African Development Bank. So help me God.
The President-elect will now sign the oath. Actually, the President will now sign the oath. And to make the oath valid, I will have to certify it. You will forgive us, it's a bit of a ritual. May I welcome the chairperson of the Board of Governors to read the record of the oath.
Procès verbal.
Record of oath of office of the President. I, the undersigned, Ludovic Ngatse, acting in my capacity as the chairperson of the Board of Governors of the African Development Bank, duly designated at the 60th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of the bank that was held in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire from 26 to 30th May 2025, having regard to Articles 4, 29, 37, and 38 of the agreement establishing the bank, having regard to the rules of procedure governing the election of the President of the bank, considering that by virtue of Resolution B/BG/2025/11 adopted on 29 May 2025 concerning the election of the President of the bank, the Board of Governors elected Mr. Sidi Ould as President of the bank for a term of 5 years with effect from 1st September 2025. Considering that the election carried out by the Board of Governors is in accordance with the provisions of Articles 29 and 36 of the agreement establishing the bank, and that the President has accepted his term in office in accordance with the conditions and modalities defined by the bank, hereby attest that on this Monday, 1st September 2025, Mr. Sidi Ould took the oath of office before me and the members of the Board of Directors of the bank, that the certified text of the oath is annexed to this record, and the President solemnly undertook by the oath of office to discharge his functions as President of the bank with loyalty, discretion, and conscience, as well as to conduct himself as president of the bank, having only and constantly at the back of his mind the interests of the bank in conformity with Articles 37 and 38 of the agreement establishing the bank. Hereby declare having officially administered and discharged the oath of office of Mr. Sidi Ould. In witness whereof, I hereby sign this record, which shall be certified by the Secretary General of the bank and issued under the bank's official seal on this day, 1st day of September 2025. Ludovic Ngatse, Chairperson of the Board of Governors of the bank, Minister of Economy, Planning, Statistics and Regional Integration of the Republic of Congo. Certified by Mr. Vincent Nimele, Secretary General. Thank you.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce to you Dr. Sidi Ould, President of the African Development Bank Group, and now invite him to deliver his inaugural statement. Before his statement, may I invite him, as the new president of the bank group, to descend to greet the excellencies, the heads of state, in the immediate front row.
Son Excellence.
Your Excellency, Alassane Ouattara, President of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire. Your Excellency, Mr. Mohamed Ould Ghazouani, President of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania. Mr. Ludovic Ngatse, Minister of Economy, Planning and Regional Integration of the Republic of Congo, and Chairperson of the Board of Governors of the African Development Bank. Your Excellency, Mr. Robert Bougré Mambe, Prime Minister, Head of Government of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire. Mr. Adama Bitogo, Speaker of the National Assembly of Côte d'Ivoire, Ms. Kandia Kamara, President of the Senate of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire, Ms. Nyale Kaba, Minister of the Economy, Planning and Development of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire, and past chairperson of the Board of Governors of the African Development Bank Group. Mr. Sidi Ahmed Boulbou, Minister of Economy and Finance of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania and Governor of Mauritania for the African Development Bank. Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, outgoing President of the African Development Bank Group. Dr. Donald Kaberuka, past President of the African Development Bank Group. Heads of institutions of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire, members of government of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire. Ms. Bajabulile, Swazi Chabalala, Mr. Amadou Hort, and Dr. Samuel Munzele Maimbo, former candidates to the position of President of the African Development Bank Group. Ambassadors and members of the diplomatic corps, representatives of international organizations and regional economic communities, members of senior management of the African Development Bank Group, former members of senior management of the African Development Bank Group and retirees, Mr. Fosa Ofusu, Mr. Foster Ofusu, Chair of the Staff Council of the African Development Bank Group, staff members of the African Development Bank Group, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by thanking those who deserve acknowledgement. Mr. President, Alassane Ouattara, let me turn first to you and express wholeheartedly my sincere acknowledgement for the pivotal role you played, which resulted to this significant moment. Beyond your precious support, your advice was a source of inspiration for me. Through you, I would like to extend my gratitude to all authorities of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire and the people of the brotherly country of Côte d'Ivoire, because I've always felt I'm one of yours. Your Excellency, President Mohamed Ghazouani, please receive my sincere thanks and gratitude for your trust bestowed on my humble personality. And for your tireless efforts to ensure that we achieve the historic event, the historic result of 29 May 2025. Your personal commitment resulted in an unmatched national wave of solidarity. As such, I would like to thank Mauritania as a whole for the wonderful mobilization of your government, that of traditional and religious authorities, the private sector, the media, the civil society, and all other stakeholders. Your aura in Africa and worldwide helped gather support for Mauritania's candidate. We'd like to thank all brotherly countries and friends of Mauritania. Mr. President, through your remarkable leadership, you were able to federate all components in Mauritania in a rare national consensus within the context of national unity, patriotism, and the Republican spirit. I would also like to extend my thanks to all governors of the African Development Bank Group for the trust bestowed upon me. I am aware of the ensuing responsibilities and hereby solemnly state that I would work with each and every one of them, as well as all executive directors, in a spirit of consultation and collegiality so as to continue our joint mission, which seeks to building a robust and prosperous Africa. As I start my term as president of the African Development Bank Group, I would like to acknowledge the great work done by my predecessors, who each at their time and in their own way contributed to consolidate this major financial institution and which today we're proud of. I would also like to congratulate my brothers here present, President Donald Kaberuka and President Akinwumi Adesina. Dear Akin, history will remember your passion for a prosperous and respected Africa. That is why you earned the emblematic title of Africa's Optimist in Chief. As for you, dear Donald, I remember vividly when I was governor for Mauritania at the bank, how you achieved remarkable results in terms of infrastructure in Africa, but also your crucial role in tackling through the crisis of 2008 and 2009. I would just like to thank my sister and brothers who were candidates for the position of President of the African Development Bank Group and who have honored us with their presence today. Swazi, thank you. Amadou, thank you. Sam, thank you. Unfortunately, our friend Abbas could not make the trip for family reasons, and I thank him for his warm message of support. Dear brothers and sisters, I would like you to know that the ideas which you had, the proposals which you tabled, and the convictions which were expressed are well appreciated, and I would draw inspiration from them. I would also like to extend my gratitude to African intellectuals from all segments, media, the civil society, and all those who came on board to enrich discussions and debates on the African Development Bank, as well as its impact on the continent. While wrapping up with acknowledgements, I would like to extend special thanks to my campaign team, which remained committed, devoted for Africa to be what we want it to be. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, As I assume duty as the president of the top financial house in Africa, I am aware of the challenges our continent is facing. Uncertainties due to geopolitical arrangements, the reduction of official development assistance, the huge weight of debt in our countries, the negative impact of climate change, and huge delays towards achieving sustainable development goals are amongst the challenges we are facing. Also, a key segment has to do with peace, which is often forgotten when working towards prosperity. And so it's important for us to review our investment schemes and plans so as to look for ways to invest in peace. There is no development without peace, and there is no peace without development. I fully commit to ensure that the African Development Bank significantly contributes to the changes expected in these areas. I am fully confident that Africa will continue being resilient. It's shown this in the past during difficult times like the 2008-2009 financial crisis, and just recently with the COVID-19 pandemic. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Africa is watching. The youths are expecting. It is time for action.
The great African leader, Nelson Mandela, said, I quote, "I have discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb," unquote. This wisdom couldn't be more relevant for us today. This is why in setting my program, I have spoken of the 4 cardinal points of our mandate. They represent not only a structure for action, but a metaphor for our journey. Africa must look north, south, east, and west, not to imitate, but to draw wisdom and strength from every direction while defining its own course. Like a navigator guided by the compass, the bank, the group of the African Development Bank, should help Africa navigate the mega trends toward increased self-reliance, ambition, and agency. Indeed, by mid-century, 1 in 4 people on Earth will be African. Our continent is young, ambitious, and restless with potential. This is the energy that should be harnessed as the engine of our transformation. It is with this conviction that I approach my new responsibilities. I intend to begin this journey anchored in humility, with a spirit of consultation and a commitment to pragmatism. The path ahead requires not only vision, but also credibility, built through early signals that the bank is attentive, responsive, and capable of setting priorities that matter. We must formalize our economies, strengthen our SMEs, and encourage partnership, entrepreneurship. Empowering youth and women is essential. It involves finance, mentorship, and technology. By supporting our talent, we will build a bright future. The African Development Bank Group alone cannot deliver on all these priorities. This is why partnership is key. The bank is already an active member of the MDB's association and works very closely with the World Bank and IMF and many other partners around the world. I am glad to see that today we have in this room many colleagues who believe in the importance of partnership and who are ready to work hand in hand with the African Development Bank Group to join forces for mobilizing resources at scale for Africa's development and for shaping the new African financial architecture. I would like, in particular, to recognize the presence in this room of the chairman of 4 important groups of financial institutions. Finance in Common, a group of more than 500 development banks in the world, is represented today by its chairman, my dear friend, Rémi Riou, the CEO of the French Development Agency. Merci Rémi d'être parmi nous aujourd'hui.
Remy, thank you for your presence today.
The Alliance of African Financial Institutions, AFI, a group of 10 African financial institutions represented by its chairman, Soumaïla Zubairu, CEO of African Financial Corporation. Thank you, Soumaïla, for being with us. The International Development Finance Club, a group of 44 development banks from the 5 continents, represented by its chairman, my dear friend, Serge Ekwe, president of BOAD. The Arab Coordination Group, a group of 10 financial institutions, represented by its chairman, Abdallah Msaibih, president of the Arab Bank for Economic Development of Africa, BADEA. Thank you, my dear brother. Shukran, Abdallah, al-Hudur. I intend to expand the bank's partnership to new players, such as sovereign funds, pension funds, and others. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to take this moment to convey a special message to the staff of the bank group. You are undoubtedly our institution's most valuable resource. Your role is crucial in meeting the expectation of the African people. In the coming days, I intend to organize a town hall and establish regular meetings with you for exchange and consultation. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the African Development Bank Group could not aim to be everything to everyone. It has to focus on where it can move the needle most, always with a spirit of partnership. We should work hand in hand with government, private sector, and our international partners, not in isolation, but in synergy, so that together we create a financial framework that serves Africa on its own terms. The challenges of our age, demographies, technology, or climate are universal. But their solution will not be universal unless Africa plays its full part. Our role is to ensure that solutions are shaped by African perspectives, African priorities, and African agency. In my first 100 days, I will focus on 4 urgent priorities. First, listening with intent to our shareholders, to our clients, our partners, and to our exceptional AfDB staff, so that our collective agenda reflects your real-world needs and ambitions. Second, launching a fast-track reform agenda to boost our operational speed, sharpen our execution, and unlock bureaucratic bottlenecks. Third, deepening partnership with both African and global institutions, private sector actors, so we can mobilize capital at scale and deliver lasting impact, especially around the urgency of ADF replenishment and other capital needs. Fourth, accelerating real solutions to expand access to finance, create jobs, empower women and youth, and unlocks African industrial and financial potential for generations to come. We will be the bank that bridges divides between region, between ambitions and execution, between public and private, between urgency and bureaucracy. Let us move forward together with urgency, with unity, and with unwavering accountability. Together, let us transform Africa's promise into prosperity. The time for delivery has begun. I thank you all so very much. Shukran jazilan. Je vous remercie.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you can still do more by acknowledging the President. Thank you, Mr. President, for those reassuring words. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite His Excellency, Mr. Mohammed Ould El Ghazouani, President of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, to extend his congratulatory address to the President.
Excellence,
Your Excellency, President Alassane Ouattara, President of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire, my dear brother, the chairperson of the boards of governors of the African Development Bank Group, executive directors of the African Development Bank, the outgoing president of the African Development Bank, the president of the African Development Bank, distinguished members of the diplomatic corps and representatives of international finance institutions, distinguished guests, I am very delighted and honored to be here today in Abidjan alongside my friend and brother, His Excellency Mr. Alassane Ouattara, to attend the swearing-in ceremony of the new president of the Africa Development Bank, Mr. Sidi Ould. And on this solemn occasion, allow me to convey to you, Your Excellency and dear friend, as well as to the government and people of Côte d'Ivoire, our brotherly people, for the thanks, really thanking you for the warm reception and all the facilities which I've been enjoying, I and my delegation. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, the African Development Bank plays an instrumental role in the economic and social development of the continent by providing technical and financial support. And as such, it has stood out as an institution of reference in terms of financing infrastructure, agriculture, energy, health and education projects on the continent of Africa. Its investments and partnerships have made it possible to improve the living conditions of millions of people by transformational value addition projects, creating jobs and entrepreneurship opportunities for the youth. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the bank's commitment towards member states and sub-regional organizations actually confirms the importance of its contribution to our collective action to build one united, economically integrated and sustainably prosperous continent of Africa. And in this respect, member states have resolutely ensured that the experience, competence and professionalism be instrumental in terms of the selection of the president. And it is in accordance with this spirit that Mauritania submitted the candidacy of Mr. Sidi Ould, experienced economist with a solid track record in the Ministry of the Economy and also as CEO of a number of multilateral institutions, renowned institutions, in the capacity as president of this prestigious institution. Member countries, in their majority, voted for him, and we thank them here heartily. My thanks go particularly to His Excellency Mr. Alassane Ouattara, whose leadership, commitment and support were quite instrumental in the election of Mr. Sidi Ould, who I convey my most sincere congratulations to. Let me also thank and congratulate my brother Akinwumi Adesina for his commitment and the appreciable achievements throughout his stewardship of the institution. Mr. Sidi Ould, who is succeeding him today, has this heavy responsibility to ensure that the bank enhances its key role in promoting the economic and social development of the continent, for it to remain a powerful lever in terms of fulfilling the aspirations of African people to peace, prosperity, and development. Convinced that he will be up to the task and will not betray the trust that member countries have placed on him, and I wish him all the best in his new office. And let me reassure him of our constant support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your kind remarks. Please put your hands together once more for the President. It is indeed a distinct honor and pleasure of mine to invite His Excellency Mr. Alassane Ouattara, President of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire, for his congratulatory address.
Excellence, Monsieur.
Your Excellency, Mr. Mohamed Ould Ghazouani, President of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, my dear brother, Mr. Prime Minister Robert Mambe, Head of Government, distinguished heads of institutions of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire, members of government, the chairperson of the Board of Governors of the African Development Bank Group, honorable governors of the African Development Bank, the President of the African Development Bank, Your Excellencies, ambassadors, distinguished representatives of international organizations accredited in Côte d'Ivoire, heads of international institutions, former presidents of the African Development Bank, distinguished representatives of the private sector and civil society, ladies and gentlemen of the media, ladies and gentlemen, I hope I have not left anyone out. I am genuinely delighted to receive you here in Abidjan on the occasion of the swearing in of the new president of the African Development Bank. On behalf of the people of Côte d'Ivoire and on my personal behalf, let me warmly welcome you and convey my special gratitude to my brother, President Mohamed Ould Ghazouani, who is the president of our sister Republic of Mauritania, for his distinguished presence and stay in Côte d'Ivoire. Mr. President, my dear brother, we are very honored by your presence at this ceremony. And as you are aware, we are very close friends, and it is my wish that Mauritania and Côte d'Ivoire will continue to move together, hand in hand, because you have always demonstrated your keen interest to African economic institutions as well as the financing institutions of our economy, as was the case recently when you had your successful stewardship at the helm of the Conference of Heads of State and Government of the African Union. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, this swearing-in ceremony of the new president of the African Development Bank, Dr. Sidi Ould is a milestone which comes at a historic moment in the life of our Pan-African institution. The assumption of office of Dr. Sidi Ould comes at the end of 10 years of a remarkable governance of Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, my young brother, and paves the way for a new era of hope for the bank. And it is an opportunity for me, my dear brother, to once more convey my congratulations not only to you, but to my sister Grace Adesina for your leadership, and to wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Monsieur le Président Sidi.
President Sidi Ould, let me reiterate to you my warm congratulations, hearty congratulations on your brilliant election at the helm of the African Development Bank. Today, you take the leadership of a solid and respected institution at a time when the continent is bedeviled with some serious challenges at the security and geopolitical level, the tensions in the Middle East, the war in Ukraine, the terrorism in the Sahel, and internal disputes actually challenge our collective security. And to these added those other ills, new ills like cyber crime and disinformation. We have the spiraling debt situation, the youth vulnerability, and massive inflation or massive migration, which are really a bane on sustainable and inclusive growth. And lastly, at the environmental level, the paucity of infrastructure and the setbacks of the climate change are threatening our agriculture, our cities, and our lives. And it is imperative for our investment to be sustainable, resilient, and to be channeled towards clean energy, green mobility, and universal access to the basic services. Those challenges, while mammoth, are actually opportunities in and of themselves, and in this respect, the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, natural resources, and the gumption of our youths are actually significant levers which we can rely on to build the Africa we want to see. Mr. President of the Africa Development Bank, in light of your leadership, your experience and vision, I am convinced that the Africa Development Bank will be able to take up those challenges and will continue to play an even more important and instrumental role in the economic and social transformation of our continent. Côte d'Ivoire, as the host country of the headquarters of the Africa Development Bank, reassets its total and unflinching commitment to support the bank and to work in conjunction with you and your team. And to conclude, let me reiterate my sincere and hearty congratulations. And, of course, wish you all the best in your new mission at the service of our continent of Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your wonderful remarks. Can you please put your hands together for our host? Côte d'Ivoire has been a wonderful host of the bank and has supported the bank, for which we are grateful, sir. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the end of the ceremony. But before we close, allow me to make the following announcements. As indicated at the beginning, there will be a family photo of the new president of the bank with the Excellencies, heads of state, chairperson of the Board of Governors, and others, as already communicated to those individuals. There will be a cocktail offered by the 9th president of the African Development Bank Group, Dr. Sidi, Ould, at the reception area of the main hall of the hotel, not the tower, but the other side, the lobby of the main building. This brings us to the end of our program, but let me use this opportunity to thank all of you for gracing this occasion, some of you at very short notice. And also to wish our new president all the best as he embarks on this heavy task at the helm of the African Development Bank Group. May I request protocol to guide the Excellencies for the family photo, while the rest of the invitees not taking part in the family photo proceed to the cocktail using the door on your left side, which is this on my right, but your left side. That will lead you to the cocktail area. Those not participating in the photograph to proceed on the door on your left-hand side, which is my right on this side, and protocol will lead you out. Protocol, please lead the Excellencies to the picture photo hall. While the rest wait for the Excellencies to move, and then you can move.